So I thought I'd just do a quick skim around the kitchen garden for you, just to see how things are progressing. And we'll just go down here. We've got lamb's lettuce here, looking quite good. We won't be harvesting that until February. Spring cabbages for spring, interplanted with salad onions, probably for spring. Chard, still harvesting that every week. Collards, really these are planted too late. We've just planted lots of different varieties that we've never tried before, and so we'll get to try them in spring, just before they go to seed, but we won't get a very long season out of them. And depending on which ones we like, those are the ones we'll grow in kind of April time next year. This is all garlic, and this is winter miner's lettuce, or winter purslane, I think some people call it. It's a really hardy lettuce, and yeah, it's really nice big succulent leaves. Normally we wouldn't harvest this until late January, February time, but unfortunately it's just grown so fast in the wet, mild weather that we've been having that I've started to harvest it now, and it will grow back. So that went in this week's salad mixes, and little scrappy strawberry runners in there. And blueberries obviously all died back now. I've lost a few blueberries, I think I've lost 3, and got new plants to put in there. The field beans are doing great in these new beds, and no matter how fast I harvest them, they always seem to be growing back. Again, it's just so mild, and not quite sure what to do with them. I think I'll have to cut them off again at the base, because you don't want them this big going into winter really. Definitely not in spring, so we'll see what I decide to do about that probably in the next video. And no change there with the raspberries, they're just all tied in for next year. This is my oca seed bed, so I've got loads of oca on the allotment, but this is just the stuff that I put in. I had some spares, and these are the ones I'm going to use for seed next year, and any spares I'm going to give away. Just got a few little bits and pieces here, spare garlics and spare field beans and bits and pieces, spare lettuces, not very much. Down here we've got again some more of that lamb's lettuce, again just really for February. No point growing it, I don't think, any other time of the year. It's too slow growing and it takes too much cleanup. But in late January, February time, when there's not much lettuce growing, this is great as just a kind of little bit of a supplement. Perhaps 20% of the salad mixes are that. And then we've got some colettes, miles behind all the other colettes that we've got, because they're in a really shady spot. And you can see, well, it's 1:44 right now as I'm filming this, and they're just getting the sun, so not much sun on these, but I don't mind them being late, because that means that they are ready in early spring, and by then all of the other plants will be harvested, so it just gives us quite a nice succession. And then all down here are baby sprouts, kales, more kales, all different varieties, and they're all for spring, so I'm really not harvesting any of these, just letting the plants get nice and well developed over winter, and then in spring, as in the name, they will spring back to life and give us a nice harvest. So I like doing this. I like putting nice young kale plants in. I find they last a little bit longer than kale that say was planted out in May or June. These were planted out sort of June, August time, and they just do that a little bit better in spring. These are parsnips, and I think this is it now. This is the last of the parsnips that we've got. So there's enough there to last us until the end of the year, but not really into next year probably, maybe just early January or something like that. But I think there's about 30 odd parsnips in there. We got a really lovely harvest of grapes this year, and we used about a third of them in salads, and the rest of them went into a grape jelly, which looks absolutely delicious. I don't think we've tasted it yet, but yeah, it looks gorgeous. It's probably really, really bad for you. And down here we've got garlic for harvesting green in April and May. We've got some more in the polytunnel for harvesting in March, and we will have some planted out in February and March for harvest in June, July time. So we like to have loads and loads of green garlic, so that's fun, all those tubs. And we've got some baby leeks, and when I sowed these, I sowed them close together in bunches to grow as an alternative to salad onions, but I don't like them. For me, they are no comparison to salad onions, and these are ready now. They're salad onion size, but we've got loads of salad onions now, so they didn't really work, so we'll just end up using those in cooking. So that is pretty much it for the back garden. Got all of my potatoes down here now. These will keep us going until May, and then we'll have new season potatoes, both main crop size and salad size. So there's plenty there, and I decided to put them there because they're just protected by the eaves, so they don't get quite as much rain. And then the front garden is basically being really harvested to clearance now, because we're trying to clear as much of these beds as we can, get them remulched, get the paths redone, and get them all ready for planting in spring. But right now they're just keeping up with us, so we've got loads of salad onions here, loads of kales here, pretty kales there. Those onions will stay because they're for harvest in May, June. They're tough ball, I think. More kales, red cabbages, and baby red cabbages kind of left there just to grow off the stalks. Another red cabbage there. We're going to harvest those red cabbages in winter, and then we've got the big colettes. These are the ones we're eating right now. Bit of chard, and that's pretty much it. So it won't be long now before most of this is all cleared and replanted and all tidied up. Very old trees here, and I'm replacing them with new ones. So I've got 2 new trees and some perennial kale cuttings. So that is pretty much everything that's going on in the kitchen garden. I've got nothing under the grow lights in the garage, and just a few salads under the grow lights in the conservatory, and nothing else living is growing in there. So I think that's it. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.